Hello, it's me, Kayla Denker. You know, the girl from the one TikTok channel that you've never heard of and I haven't posted to in like 2 years. I pulled out my shitty work headset because I don't really make videos anymore, and I lost the old mic that I used to use because I needed to speak to you to show you what I sound like. Because I made a post about how people need to really commit to voice training if they want to do voice training. This is not telling anyone you have to do voice training. This is for people who want to do voice training and are just frustrated with the fact that they're not really making any progress. This was inspired by someone responding to that post by pointing out that voice training is just it's too expensive, it's time consumptive, and all of these financial and time constraints that they're under that prohibit them from getting professional voice training. And I wanted to make this because I've never had professional voice training ever in my entire life. I did all of this on my own. And so my point is that it's possible to do that. And uh, this person expressed their frustrations of not getting what they needed from YouTube videos and stuff like that. And I just want to really stress what I said in that post that you feel these frustrations because at least some part of you is expecting results after doing voice training for a very little amount of time. And it just doesn't work like that. This voice, I did not get this after voice training for like 2 days. I sound like this after doing it for 4 years because your voice is an instrument. And what person do you know picked up an instrument and was an expert in it after like practicing for a few days, a few months, or even a year? I've literally never met anyone that can do that. Getting good at playing an instrument takes a lifetime of commitment. You never really stop practicing and getting better. And your voice is literally the same thing. It is an acoustic instrument. And so I sound better now than I did last year, and I sounded better last year than I did the year before, and so on and so forth. And just to prove that, here's what I sounded like before I transitioned and before I started voice training.
There are three types of climate change deniers. One, you believe those climate scientists? What do they know about the climate? Listen to our scientists. They know what they're talking about. Climate change is a hoax.
Yikes. And to further prove that point, here's what I sounded like after like a year of voice training.
One bear, two bear, three bear, four. Five bear, six bear, seven bear more. Heat from fire, fire from heat. There's a boiling pot of gold just over the horizon. Many look, but no one ever finds it.
And when I'm talking about voice training, I'm not talking about going to a coach or watching a video and just doing their voice exercises, though I did do some of that. It was mostly just me experimenting and trying out different things and just fiddling with my voice until I found things that worked and sounded right and felt right. When I committed to voice training in late 2022, I decided that I was not going to ever talk in an unmodulated voice ever again, because I realized that what I'm doing is I'm retraining a part of my body to behave in a way that it never has before, to sound completely different. That's not something that you just kind of go in and out of. It's once you do it, it's never going to be the same. I cannot talk like I did in that video of me pre-transition anymore. I can't do it. It's not physically possible because my voice doesn't sound like that anymore because I changed it. It's very structure is different. That's what you're doing with voice training. You are causing a physical change in the structure of your voice box. And that's not something that happens overnight. It's not something that happens in a year. It is a very slow, very gradual and difficult process. I mean, you saw what I sounded like early in voice training. I talked like that in daily life, everywhere I went, to everyone I interacted with, and I knew what I sounded like. But I knew that that was a crucial step I had to get through. It's just it sucks. It does suck. I'm not trying to make it sound like it's some easy thing. It's not. It's difficult. It's hard. And I understand that a lot of people have constraints that I may not have faced. But I'm just trying to tell you it's physically possible and it's not something that you're going to get results from overnight. Voice training, for those who want it and need it, is a part of transition. And just like every other part of transition, you just it's a gradual, very gradual and very painful process that takes place over years of time. If you want to do it and you need to do it, like it was something I needed to do. My voice was a horrific source of dysphoria for me. I had to do voice training. And so if you are in that boat like I was, um it's you can do it. You have transitioned. You've done that. You have already done you've already proven that you have the strength to do it. And so I am encouraging you to commit to it, and promising you that you can do it, even though it feels hard and awful, and it is hard and awful, but you can do it. You've already proven that you have the strength to get through it, so just do it. And once again, you don't need a coach. I couldn't afford a coach, so I didn't do it. I didn't get a coach. I just played with my voice until I found things that worked. I personally don't think a voice coach does a whole lot anyway. I mean, it's not, the voice is a very unique instrument in the sense that it is the only one that is internal to your body. All other instruments are external and mostly use your hands and your mouth. And so, someone that's teaching you how to play them can show you your correct finger placements, the right thing to do with your lips, the right breathing exercises, things like that. But a voice, they can't see what's going on inside your neck. And so it's kind of up to you anyway, even if you go to a voice coach. And so the main rule that I found helped was if it's uncomfortable, you're doing it wrong. If it hurts your voice, you're doing it wrong and you have to try something else. I think that the thing that helped me the most to figure out what to do with everything up in here and in my diaphragm is one, you have to raise your voice with your diaphragm, not your neck muscles. You're not doing anything in here really to change the sound of your voice. It's mostly in your diaphragm and your mouth. Um, I can't really explain what is going on in my mouth because it's a lot of it is kind of subconscious. It's what I'm imagining is my voice is this ball of energy that's in my body. When I talked before I voice trained, it felt like that ball of energy was down in here. Now it feels like it's up in my mouth. And so I just concentrate on that, on keeping it not just in my mouth, but floating in this cup between the back of my mouth and my teeth, kind of cradled on my tongue. And then I'm forcing up everything else with my diaphragm. And to figure out how to do that, what I actually did was hung upside down or just sort of bent over so that my diaphragm and my neck muscles and everything were being pulled towards the top of my head. And then I just talked like that. And it kind of got me into the right area that I wanted my voice to sound like. And so I just kind of paid attention to what that felt like, where everything felt like it was when I talked like that, and then tried to recreate that standing upright. The only other bit of advice that really helped that I got out of the voice training videos I watched on YouTube and TikTok was that you want what you can kind of hear in my voice, which is a breathiness. That kind of helps make your voice sound more feminine, even if you don't really get it much higher. That is just a trait of voices that we mentally associate with femininity, and so people will just clock it as feminine, even if it's not, even if it's still kind of a deep voice. And honestly, you hear a lot of cis women with voices like that. I know that me mentioning that, you're definitely thinking of women that are either in your life or you've seen on television or movies that kind of talk like that have fairly deep voices for cis women, but they're very breathy and they're very much like this. and that makes them sound much more feminine. Anyway, that's all I can really do to help you. The rest is really up to you.